just making sure we are set up. Hello and good morning to those who are coming in for the replay. I'm just choosing yarns here for a project. Welcome to Crochet with JTYA. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I am just gathering some yarn choices here for a project that we are going to be working on together this morning. Is this a good colorway? Maybe. Maybe we'll just do those two for right now, right? Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Valerie. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome in. Hi, Danielle. Welcome in. Good morning, Michelle. Hi, Samantha Stewart. Good morning. Hi, Linda. Welcome in. Hi, Lois. Happy Sunday. Welcome in. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial-based crochet with JTYA. So I am going to teach you guys how to do the quarter granny. It looks like this, and 4 of these would make a square. So I'm going to grab one of my granny squares here, and what I'm going to teach you how to do today is just the section underneath my fingers. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these. And the purpose for this is, let's just say you want to make a blanket like this. Oh, you guys can't hear me? Hold on. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Is this better? Hold on. Okay, perfect. Now that you guys can hear me, actually the volume was turned all the way down. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm glad that we got that sorted out. So as I was mentioning, I'm going to be teaching you how to do a quarter granny. So everything underneath my fingers is what I'm going to show you how to do. The reason why I would like to show you this is because let's say you're constructing a blanket. Let's just say, I'm going to grab more squares here. So let's just say you're making a blanket and you want your squares lined up like that. Instead of making the blanket so that it's like this, maybe you want to make your blanket like this. And then you want to go ahead and build your blanket like so, like this, right? We're just saying, for example. Well, in order to have a straight edge, you're going to need to create what we call a quarter granny. Just, some people call it like a triangle granny, however you want to call it, but it's 1/4 of a complete square in order for it to fit, is what I like to call it. You can call it whatever you want. I call it a quarter granny. And so, yeah. Aren't these squares nice? I was inspired by Trisha, Mama Swift. She made this blanket. I mentioned this before. She changed colors every round. She did this beautiful, beautiful classic granny square blanket, and I was totally inspired by it. So I am too making the same thing. And I'm using all of my yarns from Stash. I made these between last night and this morning, but I have a whole stack that I have done so far. We have figured it out. We did the math. So for 5 rounds, so there's 4 rounds here. In order for me to do a 5th round, it's going to measure 5 inches. And to make a queen size blanket, you need 328 of these squares. And so if I did 33 of these, I'll finish in 30 days. Thank you so much, Andrew, for gifting the membership. I appreciate you. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'll leave one out for reference just so that we have something nice to look at. I'll put it right there. All right. So again, we're going to do a quarter granny. We're just going to do 1/4 of our square. Okay. Good morning, Cindy Lou. Welcome in. I'm trying to decide on yarn choice, guys. I want to make sure that you guys can see all the things, right? I'm thinking these 3 colors are nice to look at under the camera. I also thought about using a fat yarn. Well, not fat yarn. This is a Chunky 5, Bamboo Chunky. I think these colors will work. We're going to start with this. Yeah, we're going to start with the taupe. All right. So to get started, what we want to do, as always, we need to create a slip knot on our hook. Whether you're following with me now or coming back for the replay, to begin your quarter granny, you want to start by creating a slip knot on your hook. However you do this is absolutely fine. If we have any newbies new to crochet, I'm going to show you how to do a slip knot. So you're going to place the yarn on your thumb, just like that. You're going to wrap around this hook 2 times. 1, 2. Then you're going to take your tail and bring it over the hook, just like that. It should look like that. From here, you're going to pinch right there. You're going to yarn over and pull it through. And then just tighten everything up. Tighten your tail and your working yarn, and there's your slip knot. So I'm sure there's at least one brand new crocheter out there in the audience, and that's how you do a slip knot. Another way to do it, just because I feel adventurous today, you're going to take your yarn and wrap it around your finger like this, pinch under there, and then bring this up, and then pinch that yarn in your hole right there. And that is a slip knot as well. Just put that on your hook and pull it nice and tight. It's the same exact thing. So I showed you 2 ways to do a slip knot. Super, super nice. Okay, so that's a slip knot. And now let's go ahead and do this quarter granny. So again, let's create that slip knot on our hook, just like this. From here, you would think, oh, we need to do our chain 4, blah, blah, blah. So yes, we are doing a chain 4, but we're not creating our circle. For the quarter granny, we are literally chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The chain 3 becomes our first double crochet. This last chain right here becomes our circle. We're working our stitches out of this last chain. So instead of the chain 4, this is our chain 4 right here. Okay? And this is our first double crochet. So we're going to go into this chain with 2 additional double crochets. 1 and 2. Just like that. So this right now is the corner. Let's just, I guess for intensive purposes, we're right here. Okay? So from here, what we want to do is chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. From here, we're going to turn our work, and this chain 3 does count as a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to go into this very first stitch right here in between my fingers. We're going to go into that stitch right there with 2 additional double crochets. So let's yarn over, go into that stitch. There's 1, and here's the second one. Okay, let's get some more yarn. Since I did not cake this up and I don't have it in a yarn bowl. Typical type B personality here. We're just flying off the seat of our pants. All right, so from here, we are going to go right into this chain space. Okay, we're going to yarn over, go into the chain space, and go and draw our loop. We're going to do 3 doubles into that chain space. 1, 2, and 3. So far we have 2 rows completed for our quarter granny. And the process for this is super, super, super easy, guys. So from here, we are going to chain 3, turn our work, go into the first stitch with 2 additional double crochets. 1 and 2. Now we're going to go into our space right here in between these 2 granny stitches. We're going to go in here with a granny stitch, which is 3 doubles. 1, 2, come on, 1, and 3. And now once again we're going to go into our chain space right here, and we're going to insert 3 doubles right into that chain space. 1, 2, and 3. Look at how nice that looks. Super, super nice. Okay, so let's continue with this. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn the work, go into the first stitch with 2 additional double crochets. 1 and 2. And in both of these spaces here, we're going to insert a granny stitch and a granny stitch. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Let's hop over here. 1, 2, and 3. And as I mentioned, for the last 2 rows, we're going to go into that chain space with 3 double crochets. And this is what we call a quarter granny. It's 1/4 of a square. And that's how you do it. Super, super nice. Diana, this is the tutorial. You'll be able to come back and watch this. So, yeah, this is called the quarter granny, and what it's doing is it's literally giving you 1/4 of a granny square. So that way, when you make blankets like this, you can place these right here to have a straight edge. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Quarter granny. Very, very easy, very simple. And surprisingly enough, these little motifs, you know, don't come across as being difficult. It just comes across as, I've never done that before, so I'm not sure if I can do it. But yes, it is a very, very simple and easy to do pattern. And you literally just repeat that same thing where you're doing the chain 3, you're going in the first stitch, and you're just doing 2 double crochets in that first stitch. You're creating that corner right there. And then in your spaces, you're doing the granny stitch. And then down here at the end, in this chain space, you're going to insert 3 double crochets. You're very welcome, Julia. The next thing I want to show you is when you're doing a chevron strip. Let's say you want to do a chevron blanket, but maybe you want to do strips. Yes, this stitch is great for making sweaters. The granny stitch, absolutely. You can make cardigans with it, blankets, pillows. The sky is the limit. For the 2-bit granny crossbody bag, how many rows before the color change? I changed colors every 2 rows. Yep, every 2 rows I changed colors with that project. And yeah, if you want to see the actual completed quarter granny on the crossbody bag, I have it posted to my Instagram. Really nice pictures there. I also have it posted to my Facebook, Juan the Yarn Addict. So feel free to check that out. I used Line Brand Pound of Love. All right. So Debbie, I don't have a joint as you go, but I am planning a tutorial for that. Definitely, because I'm joining as you go with this project right here. I just need enough of these squares first before I do it. And once I do it, I'm actually going to be recording a tutorial for this so that I can show you guys how to join your granny squares as you go. I think it's a really great concept. Again, I think more people would be doing this if they knew how to do it. It's really, really easy. Believe it or not, once you learn how to join as you go, you're probably going to make that as your go-to, only because you don't have to fuss with all of these stitches. You know, it's less fuss and all the things. Oh, thank you, Cassidy. Yep, I do have to sew in my ends. So look at all those ends. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, I'm going to set those there so we have something fun to look at. We're all about visuals today. We're giving the visual appeal. Anyway, I want to show you guys how to do a chevron strip and keep your edges straight. All right. The ends are my nemesis, Britt. Yes, 100%. So let's say we want to do a chevron blanket, but we don't want to do 400 chains. Maybe you want to do strips, right? Well, I'm going to show you how to do a strip and keep your edges straight. All right. It's really, really easy. So just for context, I'm going to do 8 chains up I'm sorry, 8 stitches up, 8 stitches down. So we're going to do a chain, or yeah, we're going to do a chain of 16 plus 1. All right, so to do a strip going 8 up, 8 down, you're doing 16 and then plus 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we have 16 chains here, guys. So we're going to chain one more and then go into the second chain from the hook. So right here with a single crochet, we're just going to go into each one of these chains, draw a loop, go through 2. We're just going to do a single crochet for 8 of these chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, it was 9. Sorry. Right? 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, hold on. I think I miscounted my chain. Hold on. Let's go ahead and create that slip knot. So I want to do 8 up and 8 down. So it's going to be 15 because one chain is being shared. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1. Okay. Let's go into the second chain from the hook with a single crochet. So 1, 2. I don't know why I chose single crochet, but that's fine. Of all the stitches to choose, I chose single crochet. That's 4. Oops. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we are going to chain 2 and go back into that same chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 8 up and 8 down. From here we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and go into the second chain. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go into the second chain with a single, and we're just going to go back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the chain space is going to be 8. In that chain space right there, we're going to insert 1 single crochet, chain 2. We're going to go back in with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here's the trick. When you come down here, see, you're going to stop at 8, but you still have all of this real estate over here. So the only way to bring this edge up as a flat edge is to do a single crochet 2 together. And that actually keeps your edges flat as you work your chevron. So you're going to go into each of these last 2 stitches. You're just going to go in, you're going to draw that loop, and then you're going to go next door and draw that loop. So you're picking up 2 of those last 2 stitches. You should have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Chain 1 and turn, and go into your second stitch right here with a single crochet. And look at what it did. It made it completely flat. So that's just a little trick and tip for those of you guys working chevron blankets and things. To keep your strips completely flat, you want to do a single crochet 2 together at the end of each row. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the other side very quickly and show you that process once more, just to show you that you can in fact keep flat edges with chevrons. You just have to make sure that you are taking the last 2 stitches of the row and making them 1 stitch, and that will keep your edges nice and flat. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in there. So we have 2 stitches remaining right here. We're going to go into the second to the last stitch and draw up that loop, and then we're going to go into this last stitch of the row and draw up that loop, just like that. We're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops, just like this. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work and go into the second stitch with a single crochet. And as you can see, straight edge. So yeah, very, very nice. And so I'm currently working a chevron blanket myself, and I am doing this very same concept. So I thought perhaps it would be really nice to share with you guys how that goes. So good. Very, very nice. So I'm just going to frog this out. What is the recommended multiple for the chain starting row for a chevron blanket? So it depends on how big you want your chevrons. So for instance, I mean, you have different kinds of chevron blankets and things like that. It's really up to you. For most chevron blankets, because you have what's called like a ripple, you have a wave, you have a chevron, you know. And so let's just say that you wanted to do the single crochet chevron like what we just did. Okay, what you want to do is you want to chain enough to go up and enough to go down. I'm going to grab a sheet of paper here, and I'm going to show you guys how the math works for a chevron. Let me move this out of the way. I'm actually using one of my notes. So to do the math for a chevron, I like to draw just, you know, a little triangle here. Just like this. And I'm just drawing a strip, right? Okay, so I need to know how many from here to here. So let's just say I want to do 8. I want to go 8 up and I want to go 8 down. This 1 stitch at the very top gets shared. Okay, so if you're doing a you know, a classic ripple chevron where you're going in the back loop of every stitch, the correct way, there's different ways, but this particular stitch gets 3 stitches. Okay, so this stitch right here does not count in the count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So those are your stitches. Right? So now we got to count the chains. I'm drawing little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So to do 8 up and 8 down, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Always double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you're doing 15 chains for this, but then you also have to chain 1 because you're doing a single crochet. So if you're doing a single crochet, which a single crochet symbol, actually no, that is a, I'm thinking. Yes, I had to think for a second. So you're chaining 15 plus 1 for a single crochet. It's 15 plus 1, which is a total of 16. If you're doing a double crochet, you have to do 2 over here. Actually, it's a chain 3, but no. So it's going to be 15 plus 2, which is 17. So that's kind of how you do it. And I always draw, I like to map everything out as I do this beforehand, but this would be your multiple. So your multiple would be, in essence, 15, and then it depends on the size of your stitch. So if you're a single crochet, it's going to be plus 1. If it's a double, it's plus 2. That being said, there is something, and this is just for chevrons, by the way. If you're doing like stitches back and forth, you have to raise to the height of your stitch. I covered this on TikTok. So if you're doing a single crochet row, you should only be chaining 1 at the end of your row. For a half double crochet, it's going to be 2. For a double crochet, it's going to be 3, so on and so forth. But with chevrons, you have a single as 1, half double and double crochet should be 2. Only because you're slanted. You're not going straight out. You're slanting your work. So you don't want your work to poke out any further. That's just how I do it. So I'm going to show you back and forth. I'm going to change colors because I don't want to work with just one color the whole time. Let's keep it interesting. So let's move on to the yellow. So just for context, I am going to, let me see if I can find a bigger hook. I'm going to use this one. It's burning, it's burning. All right, so let's go ahead and do a chain of 10. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oopsie. Let's go ahead into the second chain from the hook. Can you guys see me? Let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to do single crochets for all of my chains really quick. Just go in, single crochet. And a lot of people ask me this question. They're like, well, how many do I know to chain? Like, if I'm going from one row to another, like, you know, am I chaining too many? Am I not chaining enough? What am I doing here, right? So let me just show you this because it may just answer all the questions. So you have a row of single crochets here. So to go to the second row, if I'm using a single crochet, right, I'm literally just going to chain 1 as I just said, because you have to go to the height of your stitch. So from here, you're going to turn your work, and you can literally use this single crochet, this chain as your first stitch. Okay, a lot of people don't. I typically don't, but for this purpose, I'm going to pretend as if, yes, that is part of the stitch. So I'm going to go into the second stitch right here. I'm using the chain as the first stitch. So we're going to go into that second stitch, and we're going to keep a nice flat edge here. See how flat that is? So I'm going to go all the way to the end here. And I'm going to show you how to keep a flat edge with your work. And I'm going to show you this with all the stitches. So I'm just going to go into that last stitch with a single. And to raise it up from a single, let's just say we want to do a double crochet now. This next row will be doubles. So what I do is I chain 1. And do you see these 2 loops right here? I go into both of those loops. I don't touch that chain. I go into these 2 loops right here. I'm going to go right in to this loop here and this loop right here, just like that. I'm going to yarn over, bring that through. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and go through both. Okay, so I have 1 and I have 2. I'm going to chain and turn. And I'm going to go right into that second stitch right there. And what that does is it brings your work flat. There's no bumps, there's nothing there. You can literally keep it perfectly flat each and every time, and this little nubby nub is your corner. So you'll continue on with your double crochets as per usual. That's just how I do it. There's a million and one ways people do this, but this is how I do it. So let's just say we want to go to a treble. I'm going to show you how to keep a flat edge with a treble. So remember, we used this last chain, or this last stitch was a chain, remember? So I'm going to go right into that hole right there. You see it? I'm going to go right there, yarn over, go right in. I'm going to draw that loop, go through two, go through two. Look how flat that is. OMG. Yes, I call it a nubby nub. Me and my names with all the things, right? So that's how I do that. Now let's just say we want to do a treble. We want to go up, right? So again, we chain one. And now we're going to go into these two little lines right here. I call them legs. So we're going to go into those two legs with the tip of our crochet hook. We're going to go right in, and we're going to pick up those two loops just like that. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through two, right? So we have one set of legs, we have two sets of legs, but we're doing a treble. So we're yarning, or we're chaining, and then we're going to go back into these two legs right here. We're doing it again. We did it once, we're doing it a second time. Yarn over and go through again. So you have three sets of legs. You have 1, 2, and 3. So here we're going to chain, turn, and go into the second stitch right here. Wrap around twice for a treble. You should have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to go right into that second stitch and do this 3 times. And just continue doing this. 1, 2, and 3. And the bigger your stitches get, the more holier it gets. But generally speaking, your edge is as straight as it's going to get. I don't recommend doing this for this because it's too cumbersome. But what you can do is chain 4. It's a chain 4, and turn your work and go into the second stitch if that's what you want to do. But you just have to remember that that is being counted as a stitch. So yeah, super, super nice. Very easy. 1, 2, and 3. Go in, drop that loop. 1, 2, oops, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Very, very nice. Hi, Jojo. Welcome in. Doesn't make the edges more bulky that way? It can. Like I said, there's different ways of doing it. I've seen it where they do it like this. So once you finish the row, you chain 1, you go through 2, and then from here you chain 1, you go through 2, and then you turn your work and go. I don't like how that. I mean, I don't know. Again, yeah, it does, but it depends on the stitch. I find it where it's got to be special situations where I do that. And when I do that, I only do it for like a double crochet in most cases. Yeah, I don't go any bigger than that with it. So yeah. You just realized that following my tutorial you were using your left hand? I love that. Hello, Manuela. Welcome in. I'm going to do something unprecedented. I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but I'm going to check this out very quickly. So I'm going to challenge myself to crochet with my opposite hand. I don't know why I want to do this, but I've been itching to try. So I'm going to move everything over to the other side, and I'm going to try this. So I don't know if I'm going to be successful at it, but I want to try and see if I can crochet with the opposite hand. Oops. Already we're off to a shaky start. I'm a left-handed crocheter, guys. I'm not a righty, but who knows? If I put rhyme to reason, I may be successful at this. I have no idea. I already feel like a fish out of water. Hold on. Oh my. Am I doing this good? Hold on. I feel so nervous. Look, my hands are shaking. Ah. This is so hard. But my chants are looking pretty good, right? All things considered. I'm nervous as all get out, but at least I'm trying it. Okay. Oops, I lost the chain there. Okay, so let's just say maybe I'll try it like this. Maybe I'll be more successful. So yarn over, go into the third chain from the hook, draw that loop. I feel so lost with this. Definitely not a crocheter like this suitable for running a yarn channel. Can you imagine? It's not working. It's not computing. Look, it's not staying on the hook. Oh my, I don't know how you righties do this. It's so hard over here. Hold on. Go through two, yarn over, go through two. I did my first stitch. Yarn over, go into the chain. There's just a lot of yarn happening right now. Yarn over, go through two, yarn over, go through two. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm crocheting right-handed. Stop the presses. I think my stitches look horrible. I think they don't look nice at all. Oh my goodness. I feel like such an amateur right now. Oh my goodness gracious. What is even happening right now? But at least I'm challenging myself, right guys? Doing something unprecedented. Look at my stitches. What? Guys, those are double crochets. So nice. Okay, one stitch at a time, right? For some reason, holding it knife style over here on this side is not to my liking. Like and I don't even know what this is, but it's just what's comfortable for me on this side. And it's super, super slow over here. I don't know how you guys do this so fast over here. This poor yarn is going through it. I will never be able to finish a blanket going at this pace. Yeah. I might be able to make like a little granny square, but can you imagine? Look at that. Oh my. What am I making? I am trying to crochet with my right hand for the first time. Like, I'm a left-handed crocheter, guys, and I'm crocheting with my right hand. Actually, my left hand is doing most of the work. That's the only way I'm actually able to do this. My right hand is only holding the hook. Wow. Not bad. Mm-mm-mm. And you look like me. You're doing it really well. Well, thank you, Beth. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I got to tell you, it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm in a room full of mostly right-handed crocheters, so hopefully I'm doing you guys justice. Turn the work. For some reason, this is comfortable for me, holding it like this, you know? It's probably not like the fastest way to do this, but I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of squeaking happening. I don't know if it's the hook or the yarn. Oops, I lost a stitch. Oof. I hate when I do that. I just need practice. Thank you guys for the reinforcement of, you know, wow. I feel like I just learned how to crochet today with this. So much for the 31 years I've been crocheting. Do you see me, guys? This is so different. But you know, it goes without saying. You know, at least I'm realizing what it's like to crochet with this side. It's not much different. It's just disorienting. It's a little on the different side here. Even stitches, right? I mean, not bad, all things considered. I may have lost a stitch, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see once I get there. I have to go into this stitch right here. And you're right. I feel like the more I practice on this side, the easier it will get, I think. Wow. You know what it is? I have to figure out what to do with the project that's growing underneath. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to hold that. You know? Am I supposed to hold it here or what? So yeah, not bad. I think it's okay, all things. I mean, this is the, again, first time ever. Wow. Look at me crocheting with my right hand, guys. Listen, I'm no pro to you right-handers out there, but it's not a bad effort, all things considered. I don't know if, I think I have to figure out, am I going to be a pencil holder over here or am I going to be a soup ladler? You know, because the soup ladlers, they go like this. I don't know if I'm going to be one of those. I don't know if I'm a knife holder over here either. No, I have to hold it like this. That's just what's comfortable for me. At least over here. And maybe I have to hold the yarn like this. Yeah, I think holding the yarn like that is what's most comfortable for me. Key holder is nice. I love that key holder. Is that what this is called? Is this a pencil hold, guys? I'm a knife holder on the left side. So your shovel, you hold it like a shovel. I love that. I love that reference. That's so good. I cannot believe I'm crocheting with my right hand. I did not plan on this, guys. This was so off the cuff. I'm like, let me try this. I've always wanted to try it. And why not try it with you guys? You know? The yarn is sounding very plasticky, but that's okay. Yeah, no. Okay. Very nice. That is a pencil hold? Okay. I love that. So let me, yeah, I think every day what I'll do is I will go in and just do a little swatch with my right hand just so that I can practice a little bit. Um, I don't think I will get as good with my right as I am with my left, but maybe I can get to a point where I can do a tutorial without editing the software, and I can do both left and right in the same video without any cuts in the video, and just be like, okay guys, we just did the granny with the right hand, now let's do the left for the lefties, you know? So that will be nice. And I know for the righties this is a little disorienting watching it on the left side, but for those of us that are lefties, we had to learn from watching the righties. Very few of us had lefties to learn from. So yeah, it's just, you know, a matter of getting used to, you know, how all the cadence goes on the opposite side and how it applies to you for your side, you know? So, so good. Yep, piece of cake. You like watching me crochet with my left? I love that. You guys like that. That is so cool. So good. Bravo, bravo. And see, total knife hold over here. And for me, this is my comfort over here. I like holding it like this. I don't know why. It's just so peculiar. I have to get used to the chain situation. Wait. Yeah, everything is opposite. I can't even do a slip knot. My goodness. Talk about basics. All right. So, yeah, everything is back to basics. I'm going to practice my chains. And I feel like if I can teach myself how to crochet with my opposite hand, I should be able to at least hold my own in due time. Look at me doing chains, guys. I mean, as a lefty, crocheting with my right hand, this is huge. Look at my chains. I'm loving it. It's not perfect, but yes. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the third chain from the hook. It's always the chains that give me issues. You know, there was something that I wanted to try. If I can crochet with both hands, right? If I do one row with my left and one row with my right, will I need to turn my work? Always wanted to know that. We turn our work because, you know, we have to work on the other side, but if I can just switch my hands instead of my work, can I keep it all facing to the front? Do you hear that yarn? It's very plasticky. So good. I'm sorry. Did I miss a question, guys? I do apologize. I'm trying to watch my stitches here. That's a taco challenge? Yes, you know, I'm going to put this in the jar. Create and make up to 6 inches using the opposite hand. Crochet with the opposite hand. Yes. And it doesn't even have to look wonderful, you know? It's going to look cattywampus. It's going to look all sorts of crazy. But, you know, that's okay. Look at me. I'm not too proud to show you guys that my work is not looking that great. Crocheting with the opposite hand and all, you know? It's all part of the fun. It would be lucky to make a bookmark with your left hand. Well, you never know. You might actually be really good. Like, I didn't think my stitches would come out this nice. You know, you might surprise yourself, guys. Seriously. Anyway, you like my grip? Your stitches look very even, not like, oh, geez. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate that. So, so nice. But yes, I think like if I were to make a bookmark, right, guys? 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like chain 5 plus 1 and then go in, right? I think I would use that method where I have a flat edge, like I was showing you guys earlier. I would totally do that. I would go in, do my single crochets for the row, just like this. Chain 1. Actually, yeah, chain 1 and go into the second stitch. Yes. And use the chain 1 as a stitch just to keep it super, super flat. Yeah, I would totally use that for a bookmarker. Chain 1 and turn, go into the second stitch. Yeah. And you see that hole right there? The little nubby nub, I would go right in there. 2. Oops. Front loop and the back loop. Yep. And then you see that nubby nub right there at the end? I would go right into there with the tip of my crochet hook. Chain 1 and go into the second stitch, and it would keep it perfectly flat, the edges. And it's right there. Go right into that space with a single. I like that. Cattywampus. Do we like that word, guys? Cattywampus. I like that word. It makes me smile. It's too funny. That little nubby nub space is a little on the tight side. But, yeah, I'm not mad at it. Very nice. Anyway, yeah. I like doing these little crochet sessions with you guys. It's so, so much fun. She's also lefty. She has to do graphs from left. Yeah. His old boss used to say that, cattywampus. You crochet, Stephanie? That is amazing. I love that. So good. I'm not sure if I want to start a 2-bit granny with this 6.5mm hook. I don't have one with this size hook. But I do have leftover yarns. I don't know. I just feel like crocheting something. I just realized something. This. Excuse me. I've been working on this corner to corner. This is my vintage Spectrum corner to corner. It's growing, guys. I'm going to show it on the podcast, my update on this. But by the time you guys see it, I'll be a lot further. But look at, it's growing. It's just, there's the corner right there. Look at all of these discontinued vintage variegated colorways. So, so nice. No rhyme, no reason. All vintage, discontinued. Most of these were gifted to me. I found them on eBay. I found them on Etsy, Poshmark, and just putting them all together. It's coming to life. Yes, it is. It's taking on a whole personality on its own. Love it. Loving all the colors. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. You know what I should do? I should bring all of this up like this so you guys can see all the colors as I crochet. So good. Okay. Blindfolded. Oh, wow. Just chain 2 and just continue climbing the stairs. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. This colorway here, really, really nice colorway. It's a little on the old side. I mentioned this before. Like the yarn itself, now that I have the camera like this, I can show you. You can see how fuzzy it is. It's been in the heat. You can tell like the fibers were starting to break down. But yeah, I'm going to use the rest of this for this blanket. I thought about making hexagons with this, but I put it in my other project, so I'm going to use this leftover yarn for this project here. So, yeah. Hello to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Welcome to Crochet with JTYA. I like to just connect with you guys on a crochet level like this once a week. I've been doing it now for, well, I don't want to say several months, but it's been quite a while that I've been doing this with you guys. And if there's ever a project that you guys would like to see on a Crochet with JTYA, feel free to reach out to us. You have theyarnaddict@gmail.com. Literally any ideas that you may have are good ideas. At least I like to think so. I may not do them, but any idea is a good idea. The quarter granny idea actually came from you guys. So thank you guys for suggesting that for content for Crochet with JTYA. Anything you guys want to know. It could be basic stitches. It could be fundamentals of crochet. You name it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go into the 4th chain. My tension's not good enough right there. See? I tighten that up. The stitches have to be even, for me anyway. Let's see. Get back to the pink snood for taco. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. How is everyone doing with their taco challenge? And also, too, guys, we're starting round 2 of Taco Tuesday. Repeats week was week number 10. We're going to reset the clocks, if you will. And we're going to do, you know, the second go around, week number 1. And I'm putting ideas in that jar, guys. So all and any ideas are good ideas. So the jar is filling up quick with all of the ideas for Taco Tuesday. Sorry. I just noticed I was off camera. So if I haven't said hello or good morning to you guys, a huge hello and good morning to each and every one of you guys. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I've been needing a crochet buddy quite frequently this week. So I have a lot of things that I'm moving through. So yeah, a lot of the work is getting done. Can't wait for the podcast to come up so I can show you guys all the things. Very, very good. This colorway reminds you of camouflage? It does, right? I did have the label nearby. I don't know what happened to it. It probably fell in between the table and the wall. I'll have to figure it out where that is. But yeah, it's a very like beigey and sage colorway. It's like a light sage, beige, and like a medium brown. Very, very nice. Yes, this colorway is really, really nice. I don't know how old this yarn is. Like, you know, it doesn't give us dates, but I can tell you that just based on how this feels, it feels like it's from the 70s. Not saying that it is. It feels like it's been around that long. Which I don't mind it at all. So, yeah. An empty pickle jar? No. So the pickle jar is going to be coming with all the ideas from last week that I put in there. Plus we're adding new ones in there. We got to keep it interesting. We're not going to repeat anything. So We're going to try different things, Britt. It's going to be fun. Has it been over an hour? I'm not sure, Samantha. Were you keeping the time for us? I should have had you as our timekeeper if you were the one keeping time. You keeping the time for us, Samantha? I literally just covered this last night at my live. You might want to go watch that when I was talking about, keeping time, right? So if you haven't seen that, you might want to catch yourself up on that. Maybe keep yourself updated because I mentioned that I'm no longer keeping time. I will end when the vibe tells me to end. See? Love that for us. Anyway, very, very nice. Very glad. Yes, Tasha, you saw that? Got to get them together on this glorious Sunday morning. Yes, I love that for you, for me, and for us, right? Remember, guys, the airport is at the airport. That's all I'm going to say about that. Leave the airport at the airport. Anyway, I'm loving this yarn. It is very nice, even though it is a little on the fluffy side. It feels really nice. And I'm trying to think of like, what should we put next? And I think I have a colorway that I'm putting on next. I think it's going to be this one. I think this is just enough for it to go on next. I have other ones as well. I have a really dark one. Oops. Sorry. I have this one as well. Look at that. So good. Yes. So one of those two will go on after this. I just feel like with this like taupey sagey color that like we need to do something like this or something like this. You love that? Yes, Fran. You use that phrase. Yes, it's self-empowering. I love this for me and for you and for us. Right? Just like help me, help you, help us. Let's just do this together. Right? One stitch at a time. Anyway, what is the plan for you guys for today? I know what I'm doing after this live is I'm going thrifting. I'm very excited. Hopefully I'll be able to find some things. And if I do, I'm going to show them tonight on the live. I love thrifting on Sundays. And what I do is when I go thrifting, I actually drop off donations. And I also shop for whatever they may have. You know, I go through my cabinets and just see what I don't need anymore. And even if it's a little box, I drop something off at the donation for Goodwill. And then I'll go in and see if they have any yarn. Because sometimes people, they drop off their yarn, or I'll go and look at their crocheted blankets. If they have anything that's worth like saving, I'll go ahead and do that. So I love doing that in between lives on Sundays. Or I'll go to like, garage sales or yard sales and things. Today is definitely the day to do that when the weather is nice. So very, very nice. You're going to start a project, don't know what yet? Oh, I can't wait. You have to fill us in, Alex, when you start your project. Very curious, inquiring minds want to know. You do thrifting once a week, Lamar? I love that. Listen, if you find any vintage variegated yarn, message me. I'm kidding. The addiction to vintage variegated yarn, guys, is real. It's a real thing for me, and I don't know why it is, but I love it. I don't care what brand it is, as long as it's not a new yarn and it's like something that's out of production. Yes, I'm all about it. And I love working with it. Obviously, you can see that. So you're sewing on bags. I love that. You scoot a huge yarn haul earlier this week. Man, I wish that my neck of the woods had yarn like that. It's very rare that you find like bags and things of yarn here. But when you do, you score pretty big. I found some Noro for $1.99, which is amazing and unheard of. Can you believe it? Noro yarn for $1.99. It's not a bad addiction to have, right, Beth? I encourage it as long as you have a place to put it, even if it's in the attic. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Oh, so good, right? I love the deals and the steals. Even if I go and find like one bag of yarn with just a few skeins in it, a win is a win, right, guys? At least you got out of the house and got some air. I In the near future, I may record my thrifting sessions. I'm just not sure how that's going to work. I got to figure out the logistics behind it. But like for those who can't get out of the house and they still want to, live vicariously through us, through me, then, I can record myself looking for yarn at the thrift stores or going through their blanket section to see like what kind of crocheted blankets they have. And, for those who can't get out of the house, you can go thrifting with me. So I think some of you guys would appreciate that. I know that, I would appreciate watching that. I mean, just because it's different. Like, how often do you watch people go into like a thrift store and like dig through the blankets to see which ones can be rescued? I think it's a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, very, very nice. So Alex says, I try not to go on Sunday. I find that Saturday and Sunday is when people drop off donations. Monday and Tuesday are my best days. I'll have to check that out. I'll go Monday and Tuesday too. You call shotgun? Nice. And the thing about Nowhere, Delaware, guys, is I can literally go thrifting in multiple states in one video. Like, that's how small Delaware is. I can go to Pennsylvania, I can go to Maryland, I can go to New Jersey and do it all in one like trip. I've actually done it. And they're not that far apart from each other, which is really nice. And I think that's another reason why we don't find like such huge yarn hauls. What we find are bits and bobs of all the things. Just because like, we're very saturated with like Goodwills and things. So, yeah. Yes. Yeah, Noro yarn it's very like it has a bite to it for sure. And I would not work that up unless it was for like a hat or something like that. I mean, or if you run it with something really soft to like take some of that bite out of that yarn. Like I don't I don't know. Maybe running it with Malabrigo Superwash Merino will kind of soften up that bite a little bit, but it's not going to eliminate it. It'll still be there. But I guess it'll make it more tolerable, I think. You love this, Doreen? Yes. Hopefully this inspires you guys to do one like this. Like, get your leftover yarns and just paint a picture with your yarns. All the happy trees, guys. All the happy trees, as Bob Ross says. I'm channeling my inner Bob Ross. All the happy trees. I have a whole sweater. I can't wait for it to get cool out again so I can start wearing that like on my videos. When I do my whipping it with wands, guys, I try to channel my inner Bob Ross. Just be very monotone, talk about all the happy little trees and things, and we talk about all the happy skeins. Instead of trees, it's skeins over here. And all the pretty colorways and all the things. Connecticut has a lot of Goodwills that you go to. I love that. I just wish there were a lot like, I mean, we have a lot, and yeah, they have a lot of things, but like, do they have what I'm looking for? I go in there and I go straight to the blankets and then I go to their toy section and I look around those aisles there to see if they've got bags of yarns. And most of the places that I go to, they have like a yarn section or a crafting section, but very rarely will I see that packed with like yarn. So you're finding my crocheting mesmerizing. I love that. I've had a little bit of practice with crocheting under the camera. When I first started doing it, I was literally everywhere. I mean, I was over here, I was over here. It takes practice to keep your hands in one place above the table because it's not leaning on anything. I'm literally up here And so it's like crocheting in midair. Have you guys tried that? Crochet with your arms out in midair for extended periods of time. It takes practice and it's not easy. And yeah, but now I'm at a point where I'm actually okay with it. It's second nature to me now. Oh, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday morning from Victoria, Australia. Hello to you, and thank you so much for being here. Yes, Australia is one of the places that I dream to visit before I leave this planet. I absolutely love, love, love everything I see about Australia and New Zealand too. But yeah, Australia has been number one on my list for such a long time. One of these days I'll get there. If I make it big enough in this world, I'll be able to just fly down there on a whim. You used to live in Bear for a bit, and finding a specific skein of yarn nearby was absolute torture. I yes, I completely agree with you there. Um, yes. And the fact that like we're congested with all the things, but like when it comes to us finding the things we're looking for, yeah, good luck. Anyway, I have reached the end of my cake. Look at that. We did a whole little cake together. Super, super nice. Well, guys, that is all for Crochet with JTYA. I really appreciate you guys spending your time with me. I'm on tonight at 6 p.m. Excuse me. I'm on tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are available, feel free to hang out with me. I'll show you my deals and steals from the thrift stores. Hopefully I find things, but fingers are crossed. If I find things, I'll share them. All right? So that is all from me for now, guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys. Bye.